specifically.
Thank you.
Action.
Okay. Hi, welcome.
God damn it, Adrian.
Welcome back, people. Thanks for tuning in.
Getting tired of wearing the suit.
I know. Looking
Should have
fresh.
worn the blazer.
Ah.
Fuck it.
Okay.
Next time.
Next time.
That blazer deserves its own day and its own.
I like that.
Okay.
Topic of discussion. Big one.
Before, good day
Yeah.
to everyone.
Hope everyone is doing good.
Thank you for rejoining us on another episode of The Coffee Breakup, starring Marvin Schultz and Christian Vieira. Take it away, Marvin.
Yes, sir. I shall. Topic of discussion for today will be somewhat controversial, but I think it's a big one. Sex on the first date.
Yes.
Or date, I guess. Date.
Sex on the first date.
Yes, date.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
I agree.
Elaborate.
Obviously, it depends on your age, but we're adults. If you meet somebody, you click, things flow. I don't see why not. I think
You gotta test drive the car before you buy.
I wouldn't say that, but
That's why I said it.
I don't think you have to necessarily hold back just because it's a first date. Hopefully, you've had talked to this person. I don't know, via text, calls. You kind of get to know them. But yeah, you go on a date, things flow. It's you make each other laugh. You're having a great time. I don't think you have to hold yourself back. You're adults. Now, if you're like 16 years old, 17 years old, yes, I think you should probably wait.
I think it depends on the level of maturity and
Absolutely.
listen, like you said, you're an adult.
You're an adult.
People have needs. There's no denying. It's not a secret. I mean, other people can control it better. But at the end of the day, if you want to bang one out, you bang it out. Don't go being like, no, we never had sex no, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You're an adult. Both of you. Just if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. If the feelings are there and the emotions are there and the situation calls for it and you guys are being attracted and things are pulling you closer for it to occur, I don't see any problem. Because look, at the end of the day, I've had some relationships that they've come off one night stands.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even think about it. But then again, I consider sex very important also.
Sure. No.
This goes back to test driving the car a little bit. Obviously, you test drove it a little bit too soon, I would say. But the fact is, if the connection is there sexually, then it just amplifies my feelings for you to continue to get to know you and to continue to date you. That's the one way that I see it.
Yes, I agree. And I think a big thing is what I don't like shaming. It happens a lot. Apparently, a lot of guys shame women for having sex on the first date.
Shaming.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, are they having sex by themselves? Like, no, it takes two to tango. And I don't like the idea of...
Well, no, now with technology, you have like robot women and...
Robot pussy?
Yeah, you never seen like
I've
those
seen,
robot or like they they're like the lifelike sex dolls that they look like real women.
And they're like 10 grand or super.
How do you know how much they are? You been looking it up?
Heard of it.
Marvin's been shopping.
Out of my price range. But no, like don't make women feel somehow bad because they want to have sex first date. Like, chances are, as a guy, you're not gonna say, oh no, like. And if you do feel that way, like you would rather wait, there's nothing wrong with that. But if a woman says she would rather wants to wait, that's okay too. And you don't just because you took her out on a date, you paid for a date, doesn't mean that they owe you anything.
Listen, I even if a guy were to like shame the woman for doing it, or even talk to their boys or share whatever it is, you as a woman, or even man, if you want to flip the script, but we'll use the man to woman in this example.
For the sake of argument, yeah.
Yes. Even if they do try to make fun of you, the only way for you to overcome that is to say, yeah, we did have sex.
And so what?
Exactly.
So what?
Don't feel bad about it. Own up to it. You're an adult. This whole thing like, I've only had sex with 5 dudes, so I want to stay a saint. This, honestly, fuck that. I think another kind of side note, whatever happens with whoever you're dating, whatever happened in the past is the past. For me, it's none of my business.
Right.
I don't care, because if we're going to say that people could change, whatever happened back then has nothing to do with you, so it should not even be brought up in any conversation. You should never say something where you'll feel like, oh, this could jeopardize the
Well, they can use that as ammunition for that.
Yeah, in case if there's an argument.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's very mature. But regardless, if you make the decision and that happens, listen, own up to it and be happy about it. Like, you know what? Yeah, I had sex, or this happened, or we went over here, and if it happened, just own up to it and be. I don't want to say be proud of it, but if you're gonna let someone shame you and you know that's gonna affect you, I think that's very childish. I think if you just own up as an adult and say, no, yeah, so what?
And the big thing is, it's, you know, if they shame you for having sex, it says more about them than it does about
That's
you.
another
And
thing.
you have to remember that. And at least now you know, like, this guy's a piece of shit. He's shaming you for having sex. Guess
Yeah.
what? You know, guess we're not seeing.
Well, you think
save
you're cool
yourself
because,
from
I mean, you think it's such a big deal that you had sex with me? What does that say about you? Also,
Exactly.
not just about you talking shit, but the fact that you think it's such a big deal.
Exactly. Like I didn't rape you. Like you were obviously consenting and you wanted to have sex.
Right.
It's like, now I'm the bad guy. Get the fuck out of here. So that, you know, I feel very strongly about that. And if you do have sex and the next day you wake up and you're like, you know what, this isn't really what I want. Let's be honest. Or say, hey, you know, like usually this doesn't happen. Or even if it does, you know, you say, hey, I would still really like to get to know you and I want to see where this goes. And, you know, hopefully that other person feels the same way. And if it doesn't,
Right, and if it doesn't, you know what? Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Exactly.
No, like, don't take it to heart. It happens, and that's the risk that you take by making the decision.
Right.
Because you made a decision to be in that position. If that's the situation, that's the decision that you made. Own up to the consequences of knowing that it may not go any further than that.
Right.
But you have to be certain as that goes in, and do not get fed by bullshit like, oh my God, because if it's the first date, you're obviously not going to get too involved with any future discussions, but it could just lead to having sex. You have to understand that if you are adult enough to make that decision to actually get into that situation and you're comfortable with that, do not be upset that it could lead to nothing.
Right, but then as a woman, like if things go...
I'm sorry to cut you off, but even if they've said, like, oh, I can't wait for our next date, because even then you'll have sex on that night and that next date will never come. You have to go in there knowing tomorrow's never promised.
Right.
And you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
So you can't be thinking like, oh, then perfect, I can have sex with him tonight, and then we'll hang out again, you know, the next day. Or on top of that, you might not have even liked it, and you wouldn't even want to continue doing it because even if they initiate or whatever, you're going to be like, wow, this was fucking terrible. I never want to see this person again. So it's like, you know, you just own up to the situation, regardless of how it happens. Just be confident and be comfortable that you were the one who agreed to being put in that situation.
Yeah, and as a woman, it's what I like. You know, for the woman, I don't like the whole concept of when they say, oh, you know, whatever, you know, you have sex first date, and whatever things don't work out, and then the woman says, oh, all you wanted to have sex. That's not okay to throw in their face either, because at the same time, you wanted to have sex too, and just because things don't work, just because you had sex with them, they're not obliged to get married with you, okay? If things don't work out, you know, for whatever reason.
Trust no one.
Don't
Yeah.
be like, yo, like, you just want to have sex. Well, so did you. They didn't rape you. You
Yeah,
guys both consented. So it's like, it's not like they were the only ones who get the pleasure. You got pleasure too.
That's why, yeah, like hopefully. But yeah, because it's I would say don't trust anyone, don't trust what anybody says until you can find a lot of validity and concrete foundation to those actions. Because you know, if you agree to it or whatever, you have to be like, you have to know that regardless of what they said, whether I can't, like, wow, you're so different, you're so special, man, wow, I can't wait to, let's start planning our next date already. And you know, whatever it is that they're saying, fuck that. Don't go off that. If you want to have sex, don't base it on the fact that he's like dándote muela is what we say, like, you know, fucking feeding you all this bullshit. You know, do it because you want to, but don't associate that to, oh, but you told me that we were soulmates when we went on our first date, and no, you know, don't think like that. You know, be very, you know, sure of yourself with your own decisions and go off of that. Don't allow anyone else to manipulate you.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, things don't work out, you know, they didn't work out. You both adults, you had sex, so be it. You know, hopefully you guys use protection, especially if it's the first, you know, you just don't really know this guy.
Yeah.
You know, been seeing each other for like a week or two. You know, let's hope you play it safe, because this guy could essentially be anybody, or this woman, or this girl. It goes both ways. Forgive me.
Guys, I've been screwed over by girls all the time, and you know, it's unfortunate, but I mean, that's a different situation altogether to even discuss. But just be very careful on top of that, because you never know what could happen just by that one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, you can't even get pregnant off that one time if you don't wear a condom or you're not safe, or the condom can break, whatever. But still, like, be very, very careful, especially on the first day, because you never know what can happen the next day.
Right. Yeah, and you know, like,
all of a sudden it burns when I pee. You gotta work on.
Right. And the big thing is, you know, I never go, when I go on a date, I don't expect to get laid. Like, I have no expectations.
Yeah.
I don't just go on any date. I have general intentions, and you know, I just see how the situation flows.
Well, that happens when you have so many dates. So apparently.
God, man, I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, I think one of the things that I always say is, if you can go out and just focus on yourself and your own happiness.
Yeah.
Because if your goal is to go out and get laid or anything,
Never.
what happens is, no, I mean, it may happen. And then when you get home, you're like, yeah, I did it. But if you go out to have a good time, just to enjoy yourself, you go out and you don't get a girl, technically that wasn't your goal. Your goal was to have a good time. So, the night's still
no
okay.
expectations. I hate
Now,
it.
if you, and the other side is, let's say that you go out just to have a good time and you get laid. One of the best days ever. I didn't even expect this was going to happen, But now if you're going out not expecting to get laid and then you do get laid, I mean, I guess that's also a good thing also. But, I think it also depends on what the goal is. But if you go out just to have a good time with yourself and then, anything else happens, at the end of the day, you can be happy with whatever decisions and whatever ultimately happens.
Absolutely. So the key point here is, do what makes you happy. If you want to have sex the first date, have sex.
Be happy with yourself first before you allow anyone else to possibly take that happiness away by potentially having sex. Then the next day they ghost you, or you never hear from them again,
right.
Or maybe it just doesn't work out. But be very happy with yourself first. Be happy with the situation of yourself going out to enjoy yourself. And if anything else happens, be certain of being an adult and be mature about the decisions you make. And don't let anybody else, like you had said before, shame you and talk down to you or disrespect you or make you feel, less than what you are because you made that decision. Because again, you're an adult. And at the end of the day, because the girl can do the same thing to the guy. That the girl was the one that probably, bangs this guy to death and then ghosts him, and he's like, wow, like this is the best sex of my life and I'm never going to talk to her again. It can happen.
Yes.
So, just be sure of your situation, because then you're going to feel like a piece of shit. And then now I can never get with her again, and this happened, blah, blah, blah. So
right.
Just be comfortable.
Yeah, and don't be pressured into, like, especially, this probably goes more for women. Don't feel pressured like, I got to have sex with this guy. I really like him. I want him to stick around. And he paid for this, or we spent so much money.
That's another thing.
Yes,
I know girlfriends would tell each other, because I'm in a group chat with like 3 or 4 girls. And, bro, the things they say in that group chat is a nightmare. Yeah. And one of them, it's like, if he paid for this or he bought you this, you better give him head. No. You better sleep with him. You haven't slept with him and he bought you a Pandora charm? And you haven't slept with him? Things like that. Like, that's the thing, It's like, man, what is it that you're doing that he's
No. Don't feel pressured into like, I gotta have sex. I guess I gotta have to, sex is way too serious to minimize it to a $150 date or nice earrings or a purse or whatever, especially if it wouldn't happen on the first date, hopefully. I suppose, right? That would be crazy.
Hey, nice to meet you. I bought you these earrings.
Yeah, I'm crazy as fuck.
Run!
Yeah, run the other way. But yeah, don't be pressured into, you can have the greatest night of your life and still walk away, hey, listen, I had a great time, and I don't want to have sex. You may not even want to give us a kiss, and that's totally fine. There's don't have these expectations, don't have these hope, oh my God, I got it, now I got to do this. No.
I mean, if you wanted to turn into something more serious and be sure of it, refrain from it and build a solid foundation first before taking any direction.
Well, but, there's no guarantee that, I'll wait 3 weeks to have sex with him, then we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. There's no guarantee.
No.
But yeah, you want to know who you have sex with, hopefully. Don't just have sex with anybody.
I mean,
unless that's what you're into.
No, it's not that you're into. I mean, that would defeat the purpose of what we just talked about. Because you can have sex with whoever you want. At the end of the day, if you make the decision, you're entitled to do whatever you want. We're all adults.
Absolutely.
But just don't then question your motive. I think that's
don't have the regret.
Yeah, don't question. Yeah, because the thing is, when you start questioning why I did it or why.
No, you did it because you wanted it.
Exactly. So if you're gonna have sex, man, just go for it. At the end of the day, who cares? We're all humans. It's part of nature. Right. Go with it. Let it happen. Safe and just be cool with it. The next day, if it turns into something fantastic. But don't. Yeah.
At the end of the world.
Yeah. At the end of the day, maybe you really like the person. You wish it went into that direction. But like I had said before, it's part of the risk. So if you make that decision to actually sleep with someone, on the first date or whenever, there's always a risk that it will never go past that moment.
It's always a risk, but yeah.
Exactly.
I think it was a good talk. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any feedback, personal stories, hey, sex first date, we got married and been married for 10 years.
I would love to hear
yes.
someone. I would love someone to reach out to me and be like, listen, we had sex and here we are, 5 years later, still married. I would love to hear that, and it would really change my perspective and make me hopeful of something like that.
The celebrity, they had, what's her name? Chrissy Teigen, apparently. She said,
John Legend?
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
She said, we had sex first date, and they've been married.
I'm gonna fact check that.
Yeah.
but they look happy. I mean, they were in a Super Bowl commercial together. You know it's real when that happens.
So yeah, I mean, just don't have any expectations. Do what makes you happy, and just be responsible.
Absolutely.
Sex on the first date, 100% okay. The coffee breakup gives you guys the green light.
I like that. All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Once again, thank you very much, and till next time.
Ciao. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today's content. We hope you guys enjoyed the show.
And if you did, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And follow us on every other social media platform. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go ahead and follow us, leave us a comment, and any feedback helps. Whatever you leave us, we'll be able to touch up on another show, or we'll be able to get back to you with any other comments. Thank you.
Thank you guys.